You know what separates people who burn out from people who actually build empires? It's not what they do during work hours, it's what they do during rest. I'm going to show you exactly how to structure your days so you work with your biology instead of against it. Most high performers get this backwards. They think rest is something you earn after the work is done. They're wrong. Rest is part of the work. And here's what makes this different from anything you've tried before. Your nervous system doesn't care about your goals. It doesn't care about your deadlines. It operates on a biological rhythm that science calls the ultradian rhythm, and Taoism understood this 3,500 years ago. Your body cycles between two states, activation and restoration, sympathetic and parasympathetic, on and off. But modern work culture has convinced you that the off button is a weakness, so you jam yourself into permanent on and watch what happens. Your focus collapses, your decisions get worse, your creativity flatlines. You're not being more productive, you're just being more tired. Here's the thing most people don't realize. The ancient masters understood something we forgot. Power doesn't come from force, it comes from rhythm. Taoism calls this principle Ti, not power through willpower, but power through alignment. And your nervous system is constantly seeking alignment with its natural cycle. When you fight that cycle, you're literally working against your own biology. What I'm about to show you isn't theory, it's a process. And it works because it's not based on what you think you should be doing. It's based on how your body actually works. Most people fail here because they try to optimize their rest. They turn it into another productivity hack. But that defeats the entire point. Stay with me, because this will make sense in a moment. Step 1. The activation protocol. You need to earn your rest first. This is important. Rest without genuine, focused activity beforehand is just laziness, and it doesn't restore anything. Your nervous system needs contrast. It needs to feel real activation before it can genuinely restore. Here's how it works. You pick a task, something that requires genuine focus and energy. Not busy work, real, cognitively demanding work. And you commit to 90 minutes of absolute focus, not multitasking, not checking your phone. 90 minutes of what the ancient warriors called whole attention. Your brain runs on an ultradian rhythm of roughly 90 to 120 minutes of high performance before it naturally wants to dip. Why 90 minutes? Because that's when your cortisol and adrenaline naturally peak and then want to drop. Work with that, not against it. During these 90 minutes, your task isn't to be perfect. Your task is to be completely present. That's what activates the nervous system properly. That's what makes the restoration afterward actually work. Common mistake here. People try to extend this. They think if 90 minutes is good, 3 hours must be better. It's not. You'll burn out your neurotransmitters and trash the restoration cycle that follows. Respect the rhythm. Step 2. The restoration ritual. The moment those 90 minutes end, you stop. Not gradually wind down. Stop. This is where most people fail because they don't understand what restoration actually is. Restoration isn't productivity disguised as rest. It's not taking a break to check emails. It's not listening to a self-help podcast while you're resting. It's not doing yoga while mentally planning your next meeting. Restoration is genuinely switching off your sympathetic nervous system, and your body knows the difference. You need 15 to 20 minutes of actual rest. Not sleep necessarily, just genuine parasympathetic activation. This could be a walk outside without your phone, genuine conversation with someone you care about, meditation, stretching, or just sitting and breathing consciously. The key is this: your mind must be off your work. Why does this matter? Because your parasympathetic nervous system doesn't activate if you're still thinking about your problems. It needs you to genuinely redirect your attention. When you do this properly, something remarkable happens. Your brain consolidates what you just learned. Your creativity refreshes. Your emotional regulation resets. But here's a problem. Most people treat rest like an obligation. They do it because they should, and their body knows it. Your nervous system is smarter than your willpower. It can feel when you're faking it. So the restoration has to be genuine. If you hate meditation, don't meditate. If you need movement, move. The form doesn't matter. The authenticity does. Common mistake: you finish your 90 minutes and immediately start your next 90 minutes. That's how you destroy the cycle. You have to complete the pattern, on, off, on, off. If you skip the off, the next on won't be as effective. And eventually, you'll burn out entirely. Step 3, the cycle repetition. Here's where it gets interesting. You repeat this cycle 3 times. 90 minutes on, 20 minutes off. 90 minutes on, 20 minutes off. 90 minutes on, 20 minutes off. That's roughly 5 hours of work with genuine restoration built in. This is radically different from the 8-hour grind most people do, where they're working the whole time, but actually producing about 4 hours worth of real focus and then coasting on fumes. Why 3 cycles? Because after 3 cycles, roughly 6 hours, including restoration breaks, your neurotransmitters need genuine recovery. Your dopamine, serotonin, and noradrenaline need to replenish. Your cortisol needs to stabilize. But there's something else happening here that's crucial. Notice the pattern. You're creating a rhythm. Your body starts to anticipate it. Your nervous system learns when it's safe to be on and when it's genuinely safe to be off. This is where the real power shows up. Not from pushing harder, from trusting the cycle. Common mistake: people try to extend their productive hours by skipping breaks. They think, I'll push through this cycle and just skip my restoration. That's exactly backwards. You're literally training your nervous system to ignore its own signals. That's how you create chronic stress. That's how you wreck your long-term capacity. Step 4, the weekly integration. Now scale this up. If 3 cycles of 90 minutes is your daily work capacity, then you protect that. Not 8 hours a day, not 10, 3 cycles. That's your cognitive ceiling when you're working with your biology. So your week looks like this: 5 days of 3 cycles each. That's your productive work. Then the weekend isn't just rest, it's genuine restoration at a larger scale. Not running errands, not doing admin work, not catching up. Genuine restoration. Why? Because your weekly cycle needs the same rhythm your daily cycle does. On, off, on, off. When you try to work 6 or 7 days a week, you're telling your nervous system there's never a genuine off. And that's when burnout doesn't just happen, it becomes permanent. Here's where this changes everything. Most people think the person who wins is the one who works the hardest or the longest. That's the grind mentality. But the person who actually wins is the one with the best rhythm. Because rhythm creates sustainability, and sustainability creates empire. The ancient Taoist principle is Wu Wei, non-forcing action. It doesn't mean doing nothing. It means aligning with the natural flow, so that your action becomes effortless and powerful at the same time. This process is Wu Wei. You're not forcing yourself to work harder. You're working with your nervous system so that your natural output is higher. Notice what you're not doing here. You're not grinding. You're not fighting your biology. You're not treating rest like a luxury or a weakness. You're treating it like what it actually is, part of the work cycle itself. Most people fail because they skip the restoration. They'll do 90 minutes of focus and then immediately jump to the next thing. That's not the process. The process requires you to honor both sides, the on and the off. What happens if you skip steps? If you do the 90-minute focus but skip genuine restoration, your next 90 minutes won't be as sharp. Your third cycle will be even duller. By day 3, you're running on fumes, pretending you're running on fuel. Your decision-making gets cloudy. Your creativity flatlines. You're making more mistakes because your nervous system is in chronic stress. And here's the deepest part. You start making worse decisions about everything, not just work. Your relationships suffer. Your health suffers. Your immune system suffers. Because your body never gets permission to genuinely restore. You become someone who's always half-functional. But when you honor the cycle, when you actually take the 20-minute breaks, when you actually disconnect on weekends, when you treat restoration as non-negotiable, something shifts. You do more in 3 focused cycles than most people do in 8 scattered hours. Your energy actually increases instead of declining. Your clarity sharpens. Your decisions improve. You're not working harder. You're working smarter. And the funny part is, it's not a hack. It's just alignment. Here's the synthesis. The cycle is simple. 90 minutes of genuine focus, 20 minutes of genuine restoration, repeated 3 times daily, 5 days weekly. That's it. That's the structure. Not because some guru told you to do it, because your nervous system actually works that way. Taoism has a term for this sustainable power, T. It's not forced power. It's the power that comes from alignment. You're not fighting your biology anymore. You're dancing with it. And when you dance with your own biology, everything becomes easier. The thing is, you already know this on some level. You've felt what it's like to be completely focused for an hour and then genuinely restored after a real break. You've experienced the difference between fake rest, where you're stressed the whole time, and real rest, where your whole body actually relaxes. Your body knows. You just need to honor what your body already knows. Start with tomorrow. Pick your first 90-minute block. Do the work, then actually stop. Take 20 minutes of genuine restoration. Notice what your nervous system feels like when it gets permission to cycle. That's when you'll understand why this works. Not because I told you it works, because your own biology will show you. That's the process. Not forcing rest into your schedule like another task. Understanding that rest and work are partners in the same dance. And when you dance with both, you create something sustainable that actually lasts. If this helped, hit like, subscribe, and keep it simple. See you tomorrow.